Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw from Insider Travel Report, and here I'm with virtual road shows, selling honeymoons and destination weddings. And we're here today with Liz Coleman, who's the Vice President of Sales for a wonderful cruise line that I love very dearly because I've been on it a couple of times, Paul Gauguin Cruises. And of course, as you can see from Liz's background, they sell a little thing called French Polynesia Tahiti. And I believe that is Bora Bora in the background. We'll talk about that. But today we're going to talk about how they cater to the honeymoons and destination weddings market. And we're going to talk about that right now on virtual road shows. Now, Liz, first of all, how are you doing? I know you're not in Bora Bora, but boy, we all wish we were, right?
Every day. I'm doing well, thank you very much, and it's great to be here.
Now, let's talk, first of all, for those who may not know, hopefully they do, that tell us a little bit about Paul Gauguin Cruises and what it offers.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Well, I'm excited to say that we are celebrating our 25th year in the destination. Paul Gauguin Cruises is a small, intimate vessel that was actually built to sail these beautiful crystal blue waters, and it's just been a really wonderful ride so far. I mean, we started in Papeete, Tahiti, and then we have a number of itineraries that move in and around all the different beautiful islands.
Now, and I know you go all the way up to the islands, the Marquesas Islands as well on certain cruises, and you even go sometimes to Fiji and other places like that. But your sort of base cruises in the Society Islands, and I've been lucky enough
Yes.
to do that a few times. And of course, there's not a single place that a honeymooner want to go there. I mean, my God, I mean, it's just not scenic at all. I know what's going
No,
on
no. Like,
there.
what's not to love about that, right?
I know, I know. There's nothing romantic about that. I don't know about you, but so yeah. So obviously, you have the venue that everybody wants to be in. Tahiti is so popular for honeymooners, and then we're going to talk about destination weddings as well. But how does Paul Gauguin Cruises cater to the honeymoon and destination wedding markets?
Yes, absolutely. Well, let's first just start and talk about the backdrop. Tahiti is one of those iconic places that I think many people have dreamt about since they were young. I mean, like kids, right? About, I want to get married in Tahiti. I mean, it's
Right.
the blue water, it's the landscape, it's that Polynesian spirit and hospitality. And even though we may, as when we were like really young, didn't know that much about it, we have this image of what it represents.
Sure.
And so that dream is, we're helping that dream become a reality and enabling our guests to participate in an experience that is really remarkable as it relates to honeymoons and anniversaries, I would say, and the like, is really amazing. I know a lot of people think about doing like an overwater bungalow. I think that's the one thing that really comes to many people's mind. But they also say, look, I want to explore so many of the different islands as well. So that's where a cruise comes into play, and is
Sure.
really a great way to be transported effortlessly and seamlessly from place to place. On the ship, we have a complimentary blessing ceremony that we offer to all honeymoon guests.
Right.
And actually, if you're someone that said, you know what, I did this 25 years ago, let's go back and do it all again, we can actually cater to anniversaries as well. The one thing that I would say about, because we're talking about destination weddings, which is, where actually I had a destination wedding, but it wasn't here.
Right. You have to get another. You have to do it again, to or get a vow renewal and do it again there.
Exactly. But the celebrate, having a Tahitian wedding is a little bit complicated. It takes a little bit more time and energy. So, in fact, we suggest that you get married in the States or wherever you might be, and then do like a renewal of the vows or participate in our Tahitian blessing ceremony while on the ship. And that way it's, you can have your cake and eat it too then.
Yeah, no. Well, then the other thing is, I mean, obviously honeymooners, and I have been on your ship and I have seen honeymooners on there. And usually, you know, there can be, the age is unimportant, but you see a lot of younger people who are on the ship, you know, enjoying French Polynesia, enjoying the Society Islands. But then I guess I said, well, what about a larger group, a somewhat larger group? Maybe would you go with a few friends who can be there at the blessing ceremony? So I guess that's how
Yes.
you deal with destination weddings, right?
Right, right. But it's still the same concept. I mean, I think about when I actually got married over 25 years ago and did a destination wedding. It was with family and close friends. And so there's no reason why, if you're interested in sharing that celebration with others, that you couldn't do the same thing with, your close family, your close friends on board the ship as well. The fact that it's all inclusive, meaning all of your meals. We have 3 different dining venues. We have room service and all your wines and spirits anytime, anywhere. Enables and then in this case, maybe your guests, to come and go freely and move about and do what they want to do while in the destination.
No, that's great. I mean, it really is. Now let's talk a little bit about, you know, why take a honeymoon on a cruise ship?
Right. Well, right, because again, going back to this imagery that we have in our mind, which is the overwater bungalow, and I think of this as the floating overwater bungalow. I think this is your floating resort, and it basically gives you all the things that you might be doing on land, but putting it on a cruise. Again, most people, I would say, if they want to see other places just besides the one island, um, then that's the reason for doing it, is to be
Right.
able to see multiple islands in a really easy way without having to pack and unpack and figure out all the logistics. Because let's be honest, this is one of those destinations that most people dream about visiting, but they don't really know how to make it happen, right? And so we take out all that planning. I mean, it's the cruise, it's all inclusive. Once you embark, then we just go from place to place and you do what you will. It's customizable. You come and go when you want to kick back and relax and watch the world go by, or if you want to engage, it's always on your terms.
That's great. Now, you mentioned some of the things, and obviously you said you have to go. Probably you're recommending not to have a wedding before you get on, and then do a vow ceremony or something, and you can
Yeah.
have people attending that. But what are some of the other things, because you are in French Polynesia, that people have to keep in mind? Our travel advisors who are specialized in this have to keep in mind when they're booking a honeymoon couple, or sometimes a destination wedding.
Yeah, well, I think the first thing is that it's so easy to plan this because it's all inclusive, because you have a variety of itineraries that you can select. If it's of course, a honeymoon couple, all you have to do is tell our reservation agent that it is a honeymoon couple, and then they will be invited to participate in this blessing ceremony. And the blessing ceremony is basically a renewal of the vows. The blessing ceremony is done Tahitian style, and what they do is they take each couple that is celebrating a honeymoon, and they take them individually to sort of like a private area within the ship, and they wrap them in what they call a tafife, which is a Polynesian quilt, and they wrap it around the couple, and they recite a prayer, a Tahitian prayer. It's really special. The honeymoon couple gets a copy of the prayer, and it's really nice. And then we cut the cake.
No, that's great, and that's well, I guess that's what you got to do. But it's great. It's such an iconic destination. I mean, a lot of people think about I'm going to go to a land resort, which you can do too. By the way, you can do a Gogan cruise and then do a land if you're going to do a 2 week thing. It's actually one of the combos that I think you probably try to sell them, is to do a combination, on this. And so it really is. If you're going to have a 2 week honeymoon, take a week Gogan cruise, and then figure out which island you want to be on, right?
Right. And the other thing I want to mention is that we offer a complimentary blessing ceremony, which is really, it's if you let us know that they're celebrating, they're invited to participate. But then if you want to privatize it a little bit, we do have other packages like a renewal of the vows. You can actually do it on the Motu Bahana, for example, where one of our officers will work through the renewal of the vows, and it's private, and they roll out the red carpet. It's really very special as well.
That's great. No, perfectly perfect. Now let's talk a little bit about what's obviously we've gone through 3 years now of with pandemic and everything else, and a lot of honeymoons, destination weddings got canceled or pushed away, pushed off in the future. What has changed in the market, in your view, for the honeymoon, especially honeymoon market in your case, that travel advisors really should know about?
I think the thing that's changed is that people want intimacy, right? In terms of doing something that's really special, and really kind of one-upping it. And so we see so much activity now, with this clientele, as well as general clientele. They want to celebrate. They want to reward themselves. They missed a lot of things over the last 3 years or whatever, 2.5 years, 3 years. And now they're saying, you know what, we want to do something that's really meaningful. So I think combination with the destination and the vessel and the ability to offer some of these programs does just that. It meets the needs of those couples that want to remember this and create a memory.
No, absolutely, and certainly what you're, in a honeymoon in Tahiti is pretty memorable. That's for sure. And then to get the opportunity to see a number of islands, all those. It's because Bora Bora obviously is amazing, Moorea, and then some other islands. And you guys have some great programs where you go out in the Motus, the little islands around. And Huahine is amazing if you get over there sometimes, and then these different places, and then as I said earlier, if you want to stay a few more days in one of those places, it's a great combo. Always has been. And
right.
Yeah, so that's the key. So your honeymoon in Paris, and you can be on a cruise ship, and really, it's not too bad.
I know.
Yeah. So where can travel advisors go to get more information about your honeymoon programs, and also the possibility of having vow renewal or vow programs as well?
Right.
Want to bring a few people to. I mean, I'm sure you're not going to turn them away if they want to bring a larger group.
Oh yes,
Again,
absolutely. And you know what? Well, I'll tell you where to find it in just a second. But I have to say, when we were talking about to do this together, right? This interview together, I was thinking it takes me back to my own destination wedding and what I did. Now, of course, I wasn't involved in French Polynesian Polynesian cruises at the time, but I think about how special this would be with a small, intimate group. I mean, when I did this with my gosh, I'm sharing a lot here, but my sister and I actually got married together, but not to the same men.
Okay. Well, that's good. That would you'd be revealing a big scandal here that we won't want to know.
But and the reason we did it is because it was just timing, and we invited our immediate family and a few close friends. And for us, it was a wedding, a honeymoon, and an anniversary or a reunion, rather, all in one. And I shared this story with you because I think doing something like this, if you want to reconnect, you said, James, you asked me what has changed over time? It is about intimacy. It's about connection, reconnection, and celebrating things that they've missed over time. So, in fact, just as we talk about just doing, celebrating as a honeymoon couple, we also think about how do I share that love with the people that I care most about, and
Right.
That's why if you can do it, to bring those people, because again, the ability to come and go on your terms is just amazing. And the fact that you don't have to figure out who's going to pick up the bill because it's all inclusive, I think is a home run, right?
Yeah, well, also the fact that it's probably not too hard to convince your friends and some of your relatives to join you on a cruise in Tahiti, because they're going to enjoy it. Now, the only thing is you have a certain capacity. How many passengers can Go Down carry?
330 guests. We have 165 staterooms, no inside staterooms. Every room is a room with a view. Almost 70% are balconies. And you know what? The other thing that I like to think about, because I'm active. I like to do. I like to see. We have a retractable marina off the back. So if you're, again, you're kind of sporty and you've got a little bit of energy, you can do some of those more active activities as well. You would ask me where to find information, though. If you go to our website, pgcruises.com, there is a whole section on special celebration. So just click the drop down. I actually looked at exactly where it was, and it just highlights the complimentary blessing ceremony along with some other programs that might interest your clients.
That's great. Well, so go to the website, but more importantly, right now, since we are here at the virtual roadshow, Honeymoons and Destination Weddings, you can go right to the exhibition floor and see the Paul Gauguin booth. And I believe you'll be there at times. And
I will be
if not, you'll be there. And then there's also material that you can download to find out all about that. So that's clearly the place to go right now. But anyway, Liz, I want to thank you for taking the time to go over this, and I mean, you already have the venue. You can't beat the venue there, and it is a beautiful ship, having been on it myself, and great food and great accommodations, and you get to see a lot of the Tahiti you always dreamed about. Not just Tahiti, we would call it the Big Island, but those places like Bora Bora and Moorea and all these paradises on Earth. And you can't beat it, I tell you. And for the romance part, for the honeymoon, it's amazing. And if you want to have a destination wedding and have a vow ceremony, it's also a great place to do that. And then if you really want to go on a honeymoon afterwards, you can always go on and go find your own private island somewhere, right? So
yeah, that's called like having your cake and eat it too, right? Your
absolutely. Wedding. Absolutely. And that's what we want for all our honeymooners and the people planning destination weddings. Again, Liz, thank you so much. And hey, go ahead down to the virtual exhibition floor and you'll find Paul Gauguin. Again, Liz, good to see you. We'll see you soon.
Okay, good to see you. Thanks, James.